What's up, guys? This is Timothy Douglas with the Living the Dream People of Austin podcast, where our goal is to build a community in Austin that helps people achieve their dreams and ideal lifestyle by inspiring action and accountability. If you want to help me achieve my dream of helping 120 people buy or sell a home in the Austin area before 2021 is over, and you know somebody that's looking to sell real estate or buy real estate, send them my way because I would be extremely grateful. All right, let's help each other achieve our dreams. All right, what's up, everybody? So today we have the pleasure of talking to Charles Divins, who is a morning anchor for Spectrum News. And we're going to get to hear a little bit about him and some of his dreams, which is honestly, he's killing life right now. So we're going to get to hear about that and how he got to that point. And so Charles, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about where you're from and the stuff you do for fun?
All right. Well, thanks for having me. I'm glad that you think I'm killing it in life. I'm still going through life, always searching for the next dream. But I was born and raised in Texas, in Dallas, Texas. And as far as fun, I'm a father, kind of a new father. I got a 2-year-old son. So my fun is watching him grow and trying to stay healthy enough to run him down and keep him from going out in the street and killing himself. So, but yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What are some of your favorite things to do? I guess I don't know what you do with a 2-year-old. I don't have one.
I mean, it's a lot of outdoor stuff, man. It's all about giving him. When you're 2 years old, you don't remember when you're 2 years old. I don't remember when I was 2 years old. But I'm getting to re-experience it again. I mean, really, it's just about giving him, the opportunity to experience new things. I mean, when you're 2, your life experience is pretty short, right? So like everything from seeing a fountain to a dump truck to a different slide, thrills them, and you just take them around, to museums and what is open in the pandemic here, but, museums and kind of animals and just whatever experiences you can, a lot of outdoor stuff. Yeah. That's what you really do. So it's kind of like planning that around your life is kind of my recreation right now.
No, absolutely. And so just real quick, curious question. What, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but what is the thing that changed for you when you first became a father?
I think, in life, you always search for how to, better yourself or the next thing that you want to get into. And what it does is it grounds you. You're responsible for another human. You're responsible for not only keeping this baby alive, but, giving him the tools and the guidance to be a successful adult as well. So for me, it's like a lot of self-realization, like, who am I? What are the good parts of me? What are the good parts of me that I want to pass on? And where have I slipped that I can hide and not let him see? So yeah, just really being grounded and really kind of being aware of myself and what's important is what really, really changed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love that. All right, so we know that you are an anchor for the morning news. Tell us a little bit more about that and kind of how you got into it. What made you want to get into it?
So I mean, the morning anchor is, it's what you think. It's, we do the news in the morning. We cover the state of Texas from Spectrum News. We just launched last year, so it's I go to work. I mean, I got off work. We're talking in the morning here, whenever you guys see this, but I go to work. I'm in the office at 3:00 in the morning. I wake up at 2. We go on the air for 4 hours live every morning, 5 days a week. And we cover, what's important in Texas. We cover it from a kind of Spectrum News is a different product, whereas it covers like the characters, the people, and kind of takes you through the issues of the day, but seeing through the eyes of the people that it affects. And then we have some fun too, because it's the morning, you walking out the door. So we kind of have some levity to it too. But I mean, it is news and it's interesting every day. Every day I walk in the door, my computer's, blank, and we build the story of the day and tell people what's important.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So waking up at 2, what time are you going to sleep?
I go to sleep probably before my kid does, and I go to sleep before most grandparents do too. I go to bed at like 7. At this time of year is hard for me because the sun's still up when I'm going to bed. But to get 6 hours sleep, you got to go to bed 7:30. To wake up at 2, and kind of have a decent life, a non-tired life, but you kind of give up that having dinner with your friends and hanging out, watching prime time. I never watch any kind of TV or anything like that in the afternoon. So
Absolutely, absolutely. So you're going to sleep at 7. Are you like pretty solid running on 6 hours of sleep a night?
I mean, I've adjusted to it. I've been doing this, for the past 8 years. I've been on this schedule, not here in Austin, but I was in New Orleans before that, and in Florida before that. And I've just kind of adjusted my life to it. It doesn't get easy, but it's part of it's kind of part of the paycheck. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not digging ditches, but it's like that's every job they call it work for a reason, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So obviously, you just said it wasn't easy, and you alluded to it a little bit when you were talking about what being a new father was like and being grounded. But where do you get your motivation from to just keep going in life every day?
I mean, I get my motivation to keep going in life. I mean, you have this one shot to kind of give yourself all the experiences you can, right? So, not being interested in things is kind of taken away from that. Now, like as the father transitions to, taking care of my family and focusing on family and moving that forward and making sure that my home is solid, the foundation at home is solid. But I tell you what, and I get bored easily, but I'm interested in a lot of things. So, waking up every day and, seeing what the day holds is always an easy motivation for me. I don't need someone, to kick me in the ass and get me going,
Yeah. You just enjoy life and enjoy chasing after things that are fun. Yeah, I like that. So let's get into a little bit more about Austin. So how long have you been living in Austin?
I've been here since August 2020. So I moved here right in the middle of the pandemic. Moved here from New Orleans. So it was a big change. But like I said, I'm from Texas. Grew up in Dallas. Austin's always been that kind of oasis in this big country of Texas. So I was excited to be able to come back home to Texas that I know, and also to be in Austin, which is a city that is just sprinting into the future, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So what are some of your favorite things and favorite place about Austin?
I mean, right now, my favorite thing, Lady Bird Lake. I work downtown. I work early. I went over my schedule, but after work every day, I try to get a run in, just to kind of reset the mind, get the body kind of moving, and try to get something out of the rest of the day. So just the idea that we have that green space right downtown, and like you see the cranes and the buildings growing up, but you also have this lake and this peaceful like nature part of it, and it's a kind of a perfect parallel to what Austin is to me anyway.
You want to know something really funny? I also grew up in Austin. Right now I'm in North Carolina. I'm literally graduating college tomorrow, actually.
Oh, tomorrow. Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Pandemic graduate, huh? You're gonna
pandemic graduate.
You made it, man. You made it. Good job.
Yes, sir. But I grew up in Austin, specifically, I guess you would know it because you're from there, Round Rock.
Yeah.
This Georgetown. My family's in Georgetown now, but I did not know about Lady Bird Lake.
You did not know? Well, I mean, that's kind of the thing about Austin now is it's grown so much. That's like the center of it, man. You need to get out more, first of all.
I do.
Get out behind the camera and go outside, experience it a little bit, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to experiencing a lot more of Austin when I get back. The financial strain on my family was just so intense growing up that it was like, we didn't get out much, but I'm really looking forward to experiencing the city.
Hey, you know what? It's free. You go to Lake for free. But yeah.
No, for sure.
But I mean, you spoke to the financial strain on your family. You didn't get out much. I mean, that's, your family is what I'm talking about. That drive to make sure you have the ability to go to North Carolina and go to graduate college today, which is probably something that is, your family's so proud of. That they sent you out, and you're going to come back. And now that you're focusing back on Austin, home is calling you back, which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's funny, you said something there. You're like, go to the lake, it's free. It's so funny to me when I don't know if you could speak to this at all, but people like So obviously financial strain growing up, it's like you start to ignore the free things that can be good for you too, which is just
Right.
a weird place to be of like, there were plenty of things like now that I've like gotten out and I'm been in college for 4 years and I've experienced a little bit more of life. I'm like, there's things we could have been doing without money that we were like choosing not to do, which was just a really weird thing for me to
Yeah,
realize.
I mean, we can speak to that for a little bit. I mean, I think there's an important thing about when you grow up. I mean, if your conversation is about the lack of, right, you focus on that,
Yep.
and then the measurement of what is right and what is important then wraps itself around money, right? So then you're always searching for validation in things that cost something, right?
Yeah.
You forget about just taking a second and taking a breath and kind of gaining perspective of where you are, what is available to you at all times. And I think that's a super important lesson that you learn as you get older and as you become a father or have a little your introspective self. You think about it like, oh, look, just take a second and look around. Sometimes all you need, sometimes the bills can still come. You can still walk down the street and enjoy nature or enjoy friends in the backyard at a barbecue or whatever it is, whatever version of free entertainment or free experiences that you have. They're right there sometimes. And sometimes they get lost,
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. Just curious. Do you have any like, I've heard a lot of people keeping like gratitude journals. They have like daily affirmations or stuff like that. Do you have any things that you do?
I mean, look, I've been around a bit, you know what I mean, and I've had my times where I've done the journaling and the daily motivational things and and daily intentions. I've done all that. Now I don't have an active process right now with that, but I think that's important. I think it's really important to you use these tools. People say this is what you need to do to find something. Once you do it, you figure out where it is in your own internal dialogue that fulfills that for you, right? So have done it. I don't do it now because I don't find it necessary. I don't find the need for it anymore because I could self-motivate in different ways and I could center myself in different ways as well.
Ah, dude, that gets me so hyped. I'm just like, that's why I said you're killing it in life. Like that mentality, that like approaching it. I just love it. I love it. All right, let's get into some of your dreams.
Okay.
So this is my favorite part of the podcast because I'm really passionate about hearing about people's dreams and helping them get there. So what are some of yours?
Dreams. I mean, that's dreams are just my dream is to wake up and be satisfied. You know what I mean? Whatever I can do to get to the point where I wake up and I am not driven or pushed in a direction that I don't want to be in. My dream is to be in a place where I have complete and total control of my path. As far as like, people have dreams of money, of experience, of travel. I mentioned to you that I kind of front loaded my life. Now I'm at a place now where I'm the morning anchor on Spectrum News, but I've lived in South Africa, and New York, and LA. I've been on TV. I've gone to Machu Picchu. I've run with the bulls in Pamplona. I've done a lot of these things that are like traditional bucket list dreams, already. And there's not a whole lot left that I'm like, oh, I'm dying to go and experience. Now my dreams are just about that happiness. My dreams are about having my family, have these experiences with them. And my dream is raising a kid that's not a failure to launch and just a good person that adds to this world. Those are the kind of dreams that I have now. So yeah, it's a little bit gray area as far as dreams. I don't have anything concrete for you, but I could tell you how I push forward to them is being consistent every day in my life, in my work, in my physicality, my exercise, my being in the place where every day I feel like I'm adding to the day and I'm adding to the people around me.
Absolutely. No. And it is a little bit of a gray area, but I think what I've realized is everybody's dreams kind of come down to that gray area of they just really want to be happy and satisfied with their life. And like the dreams that they're pursuing, even if they may be concrete goals, like for me, I have this huge goal I have really two life goals of like, my first one is like financial freedom because I want that control of my path. And for
Right.
so long, I've been hampered financially. And I'm
Right.
like,
And you mentioned that earlier. Yeah.
exactly. And then my second is literally ending poverty like across the world.
Well, that's a dream right there. Wait, so you want to be financially sound and then end poverty for everybody. I love it.
Yes. And the reason I want to end poverty is because like when I see somebody who's homeless on the street, it's like I feel like a bit of personal responsibility because I'm like, I haven't put myself in a position to help you and I haven't tried to help you. And I know you're out there. And I've like spent my time doing things where it's like, I want to help you. I just haven't taken the steps that I need to take to be able to help you.
Yeah.
That hurts me, you know? And so even if I like don't end poverty, I want to spend my life pursuing it because that's the type of thing that gives me that happiness that you're talking about. And so,
Yeah. And I think, you for a lot of dreams and for a lot of people, and this is just me kind of thinking about it. I mean, it is the journey of achieving these goals, right? A goal is about the process you put in place to get to it, really, because once you reach a goal seems like not enough, and in my experience, you have these goals of financial freedom or seeing this or doing that or attaining something. It really is about the process. And when you talk about you are in a place where you could affect someone's life, that's just not true, right? I mean, every day, like the 1% rule, you can do a little thing every day, whatever it is, even if it's saying how is your day to somebody who's having a bad day. You are affecting that change, and ending poverty is a big thing, but as an individual, it's about the little things you can do, and all of us adding together or gaining from that passion you put into it and giving our little piece of it. And then maybe we can do something like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Charles, man, I just love your perspective on life, and I appreciate it. No, but thank you. I often, that is the one thing I was really excited for this podcast because I tend to neglect those small 1% rule things and really just focus on those huge goals of like financial freedom. Yes. But it's like, I could also help out my family in really small ways now that I'm not, and that I'm missing out on because I just miss stuff like that, So I was really excited for this podcast and I appreciate the 1% rule, small thing.
Yeah. Small thing, small and consistent. That's how you become financially free. You know what I mean? It's a rule of compounding. It's all these things if you ever read any of the financial advice, it's all about, hey, you got time, you do a little thing every single day, and 20 years from now, you're a millionaire, right? That's how it works. But that's how it works. You do a little thing every day, and you know what? You're in complete, perfect physical health if you work out one time every single day for 20 years. Or if you were to give one, bottle of water to a single person every single day of your life, imagine how many people's thirst you would have quenched by then, So like, if you think about it like that, the compounding idea of it, and your age and where you're going, I think if you could put that into process, you'll be more than successful, and these dreams and goals won't be pie in the sky anymore.
Yeah. So speak to us a little bit about that consistency, because I also struggle with that of like, one, I think I really have trouble saying no to people when it's something that I'm like, that I want to do, but I need to do something else because I haven't done a high priority item first. But also sometimes I just get in the grind and I'm like, I really don't want to wake up and do this today.
Yeah. You got to change your mind about the grind, right? If you're grinding, what are what are you finding joy in? Are you grinding for what? You grind for a purpose, right? Yep. Whether it's your education, your financial, situation, the love, grinding in a relationship is the same thing as grinding at work, right? You grind and you wake up, and if you can find joy in it, right? In some form or fashion, then I think it makes it a little bit easier. Also, if you commit to being that person, right? So, the more you can call yourself consistent, right? If you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am consistent, I am going to find joy in this, you become, you instill that, you embody that, right? It's a perspective shift for yourself, not so much how do you get up and, the alarm. I got 5 alarms in the morning. I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning every day. I go to bed at 7 o'clock every morning. You think I don't have doubts and I don't want to do this and this is not great, but there's the benefit to my life and to what I'm interested in outweighs that. And, as long as you can always maintain that balance, it doesn't become a grind anymore,
Yeah.
And then you thirst for that next day. Like it's Monday, man. I love Mondays, I love Mondays, but I mean, being consistent and, it's hard. It's hard,
Absolutely. If it wasn't, everybody would do it.
Yeah, exactly. And that you want to be that 1%, you want to be the person that changes the world. You gotta work harder. You gotta want it more, and you gotta be more engaged in it than anybody else.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love that. So we've heard a little bit more about consistency, mindset, and some of your dreams, even though it kind of sat in a gray area. I think it's what lies at the foundation of everybody's dreams, that like happiness and satisfaction with life. If you were able to have somebody help you with your dream right now, how would they do it?
I mean, just hold me accountable. I mean, that's the big thing is, like the consistency. Like I said, you gotta look at the mirror every day. You got to make sure you're finding joy. It's like sometimes, hey, I get sick, or I'm sore, or I'm hungry, or I'm tired, or it's been a long week. I need a person, a mentor, or a peer, or a coworker to constantly remind me of the journey that we're on. And usually, finding that person who can hold you accountable for the things that you want, for the goals that you want, the path that you put in place. That's the one thing that someone could do today and constant, be consistent for me. You keep me consistent is the one thing that could push me forward to, achieving my dreams. And trust me, it's hard to find a person that is on the same trip as you and also wants to shine a light on you, finding a mentor or a peer or a coworker that has that place in your life is magic. It's gold. It's worth more money. It's worth being financially free or whatever. If you find that person, hold on to them, because you'll come across those people once or twice, every few years.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was the second thing I was about to ask you. If you had like your ideal accountability partner in your head, what like traits would they have? What things would they embody? Like what would that entail?
For me, I would want someone who is at the same place as me, like as far as an accountability partner, because I want someone who can identify with the struggles that I need to keep pushing forward. Obviously they would have to be more experienced and more of an expert in where I'm going, but not someone to where it's so disconnected. The actual process is disconnected. A lot of mentors are older, right? You always search out, hey, he's a CEO of a company. Maybe he can give me that accountability. But a lot of times they're so far removed from the actual idea of being in that place. It's hard to relate. They can tell you, but they can't speak to the actual experience. So for me, it's someone who's, as close as possible to where I am and to where I want to go. And also as far as experience in life as well, maybe being a young parent, or maybe being, someone who has chosen the same kind of path as far as, for me, my path to where I'm at hasn't been linear. A lot of people have hey, I want to be this person. They start in high school and they get to college and they get a job and they have a linear idea of where they want to go. And that's just never been who I am. That's never been my success. So I need somebody who has the same thought process and has the same experience to kind of like push me through the times when I'm questioning myself, or I just need, I need a sounding board.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So it'll be a person who is in a similar position to you are, maybe young dad, similar mindset of like, not the typical linear fashion. Would you say similar mindset in how you approach life too, like with the consistency and all of that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's what would be accountable is that consistency, right? When I say similar, I just mean I'm not aspiring to be this person. I'm walking through the fire with this person. You know what I'm saying? If that makes it more clear.
Yes. No, I like that. Walking through the fire with your accountability partner. Yeah, I like that. I was actually reading this book, and I know we got to go soon, so I'll get to the other questions. But I was reading this book, and it was talking about accountability partners and who to get and how to hold yourself accountable. And just this funny idea. They were like, pick a charity or a cause that you are like morally against, and like write a check to them and hand it to your accountability partner and talk about your goals. Be like, hey, this is like what I'm shooting for. Make SMART goals or whatever, if you've ever heard about those. And then like at the end of that date on that SMART goal, if you haven't hit it, like they cash the check to the charity that you're like morally against.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, look, that's a way to hold yourself accountable, right? Or like if money is one of your goals, putting up money to something that you don't like is an easy motivator, right? I mean, that's a perfect way to cheat. You're cheating yourself because the negative repercussions of that are what's forcing you to fight through it, right? I mean, that's a way to do it. I like to have positive reinforcement. That's what works for me. But I mean, hey, if putting a check on the line to somebody I hate or something I hate is an easy way to get you up in the morning and get you going where you need to go as well. But again, like that's the experience. Like I said, I've done all the the soul searching and the journaling. Like you have to do that once to see if that works for you. Because here's the thing: at a certain point, that money might not be a motivator enough for you, even if it goes to the wrong place, right? I mean, like at some point, that's not going to matter to you. It's not going to be enough, and you just need to really figure out what those things are, and that you just have to go through it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Have you actually done it? You read the book. Have you actually tried this method or no?
Oh, one, I actually have $0 to put up to a charity right now.
But even more of a motivator, right? So if you write a check that you can't cash to a place that hates you, how much motivation do you need?
Dude, honestly, you got me. I haven't done it. I also need an accountability partner for my business that's about to happen. So for sure. Thank you for that. Again.
Hey, we're having a conversation here, man. It's all good.
All right. So we're gonna move on to the Thriving 3 real quick because I know you gotta go soon. But I like these questions just because I think always learning, always caring for yourself, and always taking action are really good things. So I like to figure out how people do that. So the question I like to ask for like what you're learning and stuff is, what's your favorite book?
What's my favorite book? Old Man and the Sea, Ernest Hemingway. I know it's like most people, it's required reading.
I haven't read it actually.
You haven't read it? Well, I mean, it's a story of a fisherman who is for his whole life has been wanting to catch the big fish, and has every day woke up and tried to get out there every day, and it kind of speaks to what I've been talking about. Basically, for 86 days, he's been searching for this fish. He finally gets out there and he finally gets the fish. And as he has this epic battle, I mean, Hemingway is a great historic author that you need to just read just by the way it's structured. But as he reaches the goal in life, he battles, and it's about the battle to get the goal, and he gets the goal. He gets the biggest fish he can imagine. As he's heading back, the sharks attack the fish before he makes it back to port. So the goal he's worked his whole life, has thought about for, has been taken from him as he's battling these sharks. As he gets back to the shore and gives up, he becomes known because the local villagers find the head of the fish and realize that this is the biggest catch ever.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those series of consistency and a fight and of wanting something so much you do anything for it, and once you get it, realizing that sometimes the value is not what you placed on it; it's the journey of getting there. Yeah. I think that it's a good lesson learned. It's an interesting book. I mean, I had to read it. It kind of spoke to me in a different way. You you ask about what your favorite book is, and there's so many, from the 4-Hour Work Week to Michelle Obama's, Becoming, to, I mean, like, it depends on where you're at, but all those books to me, sometimes fictional books that have messages, kind of speak to your real journey sometimes.
Yeah. No, I love it. All right. So got the story that, like, from the book that you really like. What is one way you like to care for yourself?
I mean, for me, it's exercise. I mean, that's the one release that I get, like that moment of, when you're doing whatever exercise, it's about you and your body and about your moment, and you're present. There's nothing else that can affect you. You're not checking text messages. You're not hearing, friends and spouses and lovers tell you what to do. Work is not weighing on you. You're not having an email, deadlines, and papers to write. You can get away from it and get really connected to yourself and your mind. And, I'm a runner, so for me, it's even more kind of spiritual and releasing. So that's the one way I self-care, because it resets you.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I feel that. And you do it consistently every day.
Yeah, I try to. I mean, you try to be consistent. I mean, I know what it makes. I talk about it in a really positive way, and I know how it makes me feel. Of course, the moment you go to attempt to exercise, I mean, it's like anything else, man. Tying the shoe is the hardest part of anything, right? Stepping out the door is the hardest part of anything. Saying yes to something you don't want to do is the hardest part of anything. But once you're there, once you're in it, once you feel it, you wonder why it was so hard to start in the first place. And again, once you can realize it's all about the joy in it as opposed to the negative, and exercise is the perfect parallel to that. Once you understand how you're going to feel afterwards, you always want that, but getting there, it sometimes is about.
Yeah. Everybody wants to go to heaven. Nobody wants to die. What's one action step you could take right now to get to your dreams?
What one action? I mean, doing this right here, having new experiences with new people. I mean, I never met you before. You reached out and, you wanted to have a conversation, and you wanted to do this, having experiences. And, you talked about saying yes to everybody. Sometimes you need to say yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to say yes and commit to it, because, it's not the fact that you don't have time, it's that you don't make time. Right.
Absolutely.
And I think the more you can share experiences with people, especially new people, the more fulfilling your life becomes.
Yeah, for sure. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, Charles, thank you so much for being on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Good luck with everything, and congratulations, graduate today.
Appreciate it.
I mean, this is going to be in the world forever, but when we recorded this, your host, your man there, Timmy, is changing his life. You about to go into the real world, man. Congratulations.
Really? Yeah, it's about to happen. If you were listening to the podcast and you are in the Austin area and you just heard this and you were like, man, Charles would be my perfect accountability partner, and I think I'd be great for him. Hey, hit him up and start holding each other accountable, because it's always nice to push each other towards our dreams, new experiences with new people, and everything. Charles, you'd be open to that?
Of course.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, Charles.
Yeah, you too. Congratulations again.
Hey, appreciate it.
Stay consistent.
Will do.
All right, man.
All right. See ya. All right. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Remember, help out our guests if you can. Hold them accountable. Accountability is key. Also, we would love to have you on the show to talk about your dreams. Let's make them a reality. Finally, if you know anybody that's looking to buy or sell real estate in the Austin area in 2021, send them my way. All righty. Have a blessed day.